In this video, I'll be teaching you the needed requirements before doing a massage. I always recommend in all our massage tutorials that you first come to this video before doing a massage, especially if you don't have any prior experience to massage or you haven't gone through proper or formal massage schooling. Here, we'll have you set up and ready to do massage once you've learned the basics, like personal preparations, number 2, the endangerment sites of the body, and lastly, number 3, the common contraindications in massage. So first off, before doing any massage, you have to do some physical preparations first, such as basic hygiene. Yes, this is elementary and this is very basic, but since we're in the business of manual labor and physical contact, we have to observe some guidelines in hygiene. Number 1, trim and file your nails. Because if you have long nails, you may end up unintentionally scratching your client. Plus, it's unhygienic because sometimes if you have long nails, dirt and grime can get trapped under those nails. And it's just not professional to have long nails if you're in the business of doing massage. Number 2, tie your hair if it's long. You don't want your hair rubbing or touching the client when you're doing massage. Of course, that's very unprofessional. Number 3, very basic, but in all my years of doing massage and having massages, sometimes this is being overlooked at, especially if you're working in a spa. You've had your lunch break or your break, and then you forget, you came back right in, you forgot to wash your mouth or at least use mouthwash or brush your teeth. Then you're gonna have your client guessing what you had for dinner or lunch. So number 3, brush your teeth. Number 4, more elementary, but sometimes if we're in a rush, we forget that sometimes after taking a shower, we forget to use deodorant and then we go to work, then we're all perspiring and sweating. So number 4, bathe and use deodorant. But make sure you don't use any pungent or any cologne that's very strong because sometimes some clients are very sensitive to different kinds of scents. So keep it simple, keep it basic. Number 5, wash your hands with soap and water. And make sure to wash up to your elbows because some massage techniques incorporate the forearms and the elbows. Number 6, sanitize with 70% isopropyl alcohol, as advised by most massage regulations as the standard for sanitizing. Lastly, number 7, if you're like me that sweats a lot, make sure you have a hand towel or a handkerchief at hand or close to you while doing a massage, so from time to time you can wipe your sweat and sanitize with alcohol, because the worst thing that you can also do to a client is when you're working and then all of a sudden your sweat drips on them and then you just grab some oil and make an excuse like, I'm adding more oil. Okay, now that you're all prepped up for work, let's move on to the endangerment sites of the body. Endangerment sites are areas in the body that you must be careful of, especially when putting pressure when doing massage because of the underlying major arteries, nerves, and blood vessels and organs that are sensitive. So first endangerment site is inferior to the ear, just right under the ear, a notch posterior to the ramus or the mandible. So right here, if you put even the slightest pressure, you'd feel like a lightning or a pinching or a sharp pain. So make sure when doing a facial massage, you can massage this area. Actually, you can massage it very lightly, but never put any excessive or pointed pressure in that area. Not unless you want to hurt the client, which of course you wouldn't. Next, number 2 is the anterior triangle of the neck. So it's bordered by the SCM muscle up to your mandible jaw or the mandible bone, and then up to your trachea. So it's this whole triangle area here. Okay? So don't put pressure or massage that area. Of course, if you put pressure on that, try it. You're gonna choke yourself. Number 3, the posterior triangle of the neck. So that's again from the trachea up to your collarbone, all the way down to your throat. So this triangle right here Or just remember number 2 and number 3, don't massage the whole neck area up to your collarbone and below this trapezius muscle. Here on the trapezius muscle, you can massage that area, no problem. But down here, never put pressure because there are some major arteries that you're not supposed to put pressure on. Number 4 is the axilla. Axilla or the armpit. Again, you can massage that area very lightly but never put any excessive or pointed pressure in this area because again, there are some major arteries, nerves, and blood vessels that aren't supposed to be put under any stress or any physical pressure. Number 5, the medial brachium. The medial brachium is located between your bicep and your tricep muscle. Again, you can massage this area but don't put any pointed and excessive pressure in between your bicep and your triceps. Number 6, the cubital area or the anterior bend of the elbow. Again, this area, you can do light massage over it, but never put any pointed pressure in this area. Number 7, the ulnar notch or the, what we call it in other terms, the funny bone. So it's right between the elbow. So ever experience bumping your elbow into something and all of a sudden you feel this sharp shooting pain all along your arm? Because that is the ulnar nerve. So again, you can massage it very lightly, but never put any pressure or inflict some pressure in that area. Not unless, again, you want to mimic that electrifying pain. Number 8 is the femoral triangle or the groin area. So I don't think I have to stand up to describe it. It's the whole groin area. You're not supposed to massage that area because here on the groin, right between your legs, there are major blood vessels, there are major nerves and arteries that, again, are not supposed to be massaged or put under certain pressure. Number 9, the popliteal fossa, or the back of the knee. So like your elbow, let's say, for example, this is your knee, it's, again, on the posterior bend of your knee. So again, you can't put any excessive pressure on that. You can massage, no problem. Always massage. If you're massaging in the legs and the arms, remember that you're supposed to massage from digital to proximal, meaning you have to massage going towards the heart or towards the trunk. So again, you can massage these areas, the back of the knee, even here on the anterior bend of the elbow, but with very light pressure. Don't ever use any pointed pressure in these areas. Number 10, the upper abdomen area, or what we call the solar plexus, and right under the ribs or your floating ribs. So make sure, again, you can do some stomach massage, but don't put any excessive pressure in those areas. Number 11, the upper lumbar area. So actually, you can massage the whole back, no problem. You can do excessive pressure, but never do excessive cushions on the upper lumbar area or the area perpendicular to your kidneys, because our kidneys is the purifier of our body. So you can't put excessive percussions to that area because, again, percussions, hacking, drumming, tapping, or any of that produces ultrasound waves or ultrasound effects in the body. So we don't want our central purification system to be rattled and shaken around. So it's time to go on the third part and last part of this video tutorial. The common contraindications of massage. Contraindications, simply put, is a reason to refuse or withhold a treatment to a client because of some certain health conditions that may aggravate their health. Contraindications are usually classified as local, relative, and absolute. Under local contraindication, it means massage is cautioned or not advised in a localized area of the body. But you can resume massage or resume lightly 6 inches above or below or in the radius of the affected area, depending on the condition, of course. So number one, let's go through this real quick because there's a lot of contraindications. We have inflammation. Inflammation due to tissue or bacterial damage. So samples are infected wounds, boils, carbuncles, or similar conditions. Then we have varicose veins. Next is hematoma or bruises or dark patches of the body. Then we have localized bone disorders like lupus, rheumatoid arthritis, ankylosing spondylitis, and similar conditions like this. Then we have contusions, bumps and hard protrusions in the bodies or in the head. Make sure that you deal with it with caution. Then we have edema, wherein there is an excessive water retention in an area most commonly on the feet or on the legs. Then next we have burns. Of course, don't massage any area that has physical trauma with burns on it. So again, you can resume 6 inches within the radius after the area of concern. You can resume massage very lightly and make sure you ask the client if he or she is experiencing any pain so you can adjust. Then we have hernia, like a herniated gut. So make sure you take caution when doing massage. Then we have venomous bites or stings or bee stings or bites. But then again, you can massage and resume lightly 6 inches outside the area of concern. Then we have open wounds or fresh scars from operations. Usually, if a client comes to me, he or she said that they've been in an operation, you should ask if they had a doctor's approval before having a massage. Then you have skin problems. Skin problems that are contagious like impetigo, fungal infections, athlete's foot, scabies, ringworms, shingles, warts, APAP, and other contagious skin diseases. That's why it's always a good practice to sanitize with 70% isopropyl alcohol every time you transfer from one body part to another, as to avoid the spread of any contagious skin disease or condition. So, moving on, a second classification of contraindication is the relative contraindication. Relative, this means that the treatment should be modified accordingly to avoid aggravating any health condition of the client or making their condition worse. Let's quickly go along that too. Samples are osteoporosis or any local bone disorders and fractures. Again, these are under the relative classification of contraindications. So meaning to say, you have to modify your massage treatment for people that have these certain conditions. So if your client has certain bone disorders or fractures, of course, you'd have to be more careful in dealing with these clients. Then next, you have high blood pressure. That's why usually before having a massage, it's very formal and on the safe side if you take the blood pressure of your client first before doing massage. Make sure that you're going to use relaxing techniques for people who have high blood pressure. Then moving on, we have heavy menstruation for women, of course. One major benefit of massage is the stimulation of blood circulation. So if your client has menstruation or is on her period, it's not advisable to do very stimulating massages. So therefore, you have to explain to your client first before going through any massage. Then we have frail elderly people. Of course, if your clients are frail and elderly, you have to modify your massage routine. So if you're doing the normal and basic routine, it's not the same case for frail elderly people. So you can't do any excessive pressure and stretching. You have to exert more care when dealing with these clients. Also, we have chronic arthritis. Chronic arthritis oftentimes causes pain in the joints. So make sure when doing massage, you be careful and don't exert any excessive pressure and force in those areas. Then we have thrombosis. If the patient has a history of thrombosis, make sure that you be careful on those areas of concern. Then lastly, under contraindications, we have the absolute contraindication. Absolute contraindication is when the treatment is not recommended or not allowed at all in any part of the body. So the client is usually advised to later come back when their condition has improved or they have a doctor's approval. Better if it's a written doctor's approval for massage. So samples of absolute contraindications are abnormally high body temperature. Between 36 degrees Celsius to 37 degrees Celsius is considered normal. Next, we have acute infectious diseases. Samples of acute infectious diseases are chickenpox, colds or flus, measles, SARS, or other ongoing viruses that we have spreading. And very importantly, this goes both ways. If you're a massage practitioner, if you have abnormally high body temperature, make sure that you're not under the weather and that you have a flu, as to safeguard yourself and your future clients. Moving on, under the absolute contraindications, we have any person that just had a heavy meal. Why? Because number one, it's not comfortable to be in a prone position or be lying on your stomach while doing a massage or while having a massage. Also, like I said, massage is a passive form of physical activity. So it's not good that while your body is still digesting food and that you just had a heavy meal to have a massage right away. Next, under absolute contraindication is cancer. So unless otherwise approved and consented by a doctor, it is not advised for a client to have a massage if they have any form of cancer, unless they have a written approval by a doctor. Because again, what is the definition of cancer? Cancer is when the body produces abnormal cells, cancer cells. Number two, these cancer cells multiply and spread throughout the body. Moving on, we have over fatigue. So if a client comes to you panting and they're tired and they just finished doing any strenuous physical activities like sports or jogging or running, and they come to you and they want to have a massage, again, this is an absolute contraindication, but a manageable one. So all you have to do is tell your client to relax for a while, give them a relaxing beverage, make sure that they're not panting or out of breath, and then when they're all settled down and relaxed, then you can resume a massage. Moving on, we have intoxication or any person under influence of illegal substances. Then lastly, we have psychosis or people who are clinically declared mentally unstable, because we don't want any untoward instance wherein a client with a mental disorder to just be ticked off, to have an episode wherein he's just going to wake up and say, "Oh, where am I? Who are you? What are you doing to me?" You know? So it's always better to be on the safe side. Now, usually all these contraindications are in the informed consent form, as it's going to be time consuming if you go each and every one if you do it verbally. In another video, I'm going to show you how to make an informed consent form and how to render it. So make sure you subscribe and check out our other videos. Remember, all this is just basic knowledge in massage. And remember, we're trying to cram 500 to 800 hours of massage schooling. So if you really want to improve yourself, you have to constantly strive to learn something new every day, or at least on a regular basis. Progress does add up. Hopefully this video has been beneficial for you. As usual, if you find this video helpful, please reciprocate the love that I put into this by sharing it to your friends or anyone who you think would benefit from it too. Thank you so much, and I love you all for staying to the end. Remember, always stay safe, stay relaxed, and stay in touch. See you in the next.